So first of all, I think we've been hearing this afternoon about how many unsung heroes there are in the parish. And just another set of them are those who run the marketing and logistics operation for the food bank collection. Many of you will be aware that on usually the last Sunday of the month, we have a collection for Ealing Food Bank, a really well-established, incredibly well-run operation, helping those who are finding themselves down on their luck within the Ealing area. As a complement, actually, to the CAFOD, which is for the overseas, we also need to look after, of course, our sometimes fellow parishioners, let alone others in the community in Ealing. So yes, out of one of the works remaining of the Justice and Peace group is that logistics operation, which is about being there on the last Sunday of the month at a little table in the bookshop porch to be a presence of that operation, to welcome contributions, to say thank you for them for the period between 9 and 1. I'm looking at Sister Vivian, who come rain or shine is there, Patrick himself as well, and 2 or 3 other stalwarts who help out. And then, not to be forgotten, on a Wednesday, it's shipped from my garage to the warehouse in Hanwell, and we have 2 teams of very willing car drivers who take to ship it over. You'll see actually in recent months that we put up just for the week or so before a little poster which says here are the things that are needed. It helps to act as a prompt, and we've seen actually a doubling in donations and a broadening of the number of people who think and remember to bring items in. So do remember that food bank operation. It isn't either or, it is both and, to help those of our fellow human beings overseas but also on our doorstep. So a huge thank you to those who are helping with the food bank collection. We're doing quite well actually. What we want to do is to move to have a collection on a Saturday evening as well. That's a bit special because we'd have to pack up and take it home. We can't leave it overnight. So we're thinking about that as an innovation in due course. So do mark into your calendars the last Sunday of the month, apart from Easter, which is actually on the 31st this year, so we'll do it the week before on Palm Sunday, and sometimes Christmas we do it slightly differently as well. So second thing, very quickly, no, I'll do that one third. This is a piece of card. It says it's a ticket, trivia night ticket, but it's not just a ticket. This is the social committee that I'm now starting to talk about. This weekend is the first anniversary of our first big event as a reformed social committee, and that was the Ceilidh in the first weekend in February. Many of you came along to it. It was an absolute jam-packed. We had no idea what we were doing. We were a newly formed ragbag of people, not the individuals being ragbag people, but the collection of people who came together. I'm looking at 2 of the absolute stalwarts in front of me, Mary and Eileen. We have Ibby, and we now have Shell on the social committee. And we have 3 or 4 others, youngsters, oldies like me, who came together and said, let's try and make a difference to the social life of the parish. This time last year, we were just setting out. As many of you will know, we've had 2 Ceilidhs, in fact, and we've got a 3rd one planned for May. We've had, as well as that, we had the quiz night in April that was very successful, and we have tickets are available, a very, very valuable golden ticket, not that many left. We've sold 96 so far out of our target 110. And the sort of crowning glory, but it nearly killed us, was that coronation tea party, which again a number of you came to, which had the logistical challenge of having to move from here into the Bennett Bar halfway through, but that was actually a brilliant endeavour. We did need to take a lie down afterwards, I have to say, but so many people remember that as a spectacular event. So it is not just, of course, about the socialising, as Father mentioned earlier in the synodal pathway feedback. People really wanted the social life of the parish back. It had been completely crushed by COVID, but it had also been in abeyance for several years before. And with the help of that wonderful group of volunteers, we really got that going again. So it's partly about the social life of the parish, but actually it's much more than that. It's part of the fabric of any community, getting together socially in this Catholic community alongside the sacraments alongside the liturgy, alongside catechetics, these all work together. That leads to a second part, a really important part, which is this is not just a ticket for socialising together, it's a ticket for getting people into the parish. Whether it is people who've drifted away from the parish, who are still in the neighbourhood for whatever reason, decided they didn't want to be here anymore, or others who might be new to the area or who may not even be Christians. I know that in some of those events, people have chosen to bring neighbours just for a social time and as a reintroduction to the parish. So it has a quiet but strongly evangelistic aspect to it as well. So when there are events on, even if they don't appeal to you, think about others you might bring along to whom it might appeal, and an entry or a re-entry back to the parish. But it's not even those two things, it's a third thing, which is about raising money. In the past year, we have, with the events that I've mentioned, plus a few little sort of smaller scale sort of coffee mornings and things, or after Mass or whatever, we've raised over £3,000, of which £2,000 has gone directly to parish funds, and £1,000 has gone to special causes, including the Lenten project charity from last year. So we want to do much, much more of that. I should make a special carve-out mention of the golf day, which is not really under the aegis of the Social Committee, but of course Mary and Eileen have been running that, which is super successful, both socially and also in fundraising terms, which makes a huge contribution. And on their behalf, I'm going to make an appeal for people to step forward this year. The date is 20th of September. Help a little committee of some sort, especially for that golf day, because it takes a lot of organising. So if anyone here can or knows somebody who can help organise, then please see Eileen and Mary. And sponsorship, of course. So where have we got to? The social life of the parish, fundraising and evangelistic. And then just one more, this third thing I wanted to mention, it's not really under the Social Committee, it is these events for the men of the parish. Sorry, that sounds quite exclusive, doesn't it? But there's a little occasional event that we put on, which is part liturgical and part social, so there's a social aspect to it. Easy to come to, there's no commitment, no nothing, just come along on whenever it is, typically a Tuesday evening, enjoy a bit of reflective prayer together with other men, and socialise afterwards. And we have people coming to it who are not yet Catholics, who are inquirers, who are enthusiastic, and they can just enjoy time very gently alongside more established Catholics, some of whom are in this room. So just a gentle plug for that. So thank you to all of those who are volunteering to bring these things about. Thank you to all of you who come along and support it and enjoy and make those social events what they are, and buy raffle tickets. And speaking of which, this is not just a ticket, it is an entry ticket. I've got a few left, and if you can't come, Eileen will sell you raffle tickets. Otherwise there'll be a protection racket that goes with it. Good. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
On your behalf and on behalf of all the parishioners, I think we owe a great deal of thanks to Father Ambrose for his leadership of the parish, and also to Father Timothy, who does work so hard. Father Timothy is a model of Christian charity, which I think we can all appreciate, and his fame spreads wide around London. I do think I'd like to ask you to pray for not just our parish life, for our monastic life as well, and we need to pray for vocations. There are good things happening, but they take a long time to happen. At the moment, we are very small in numbers. Since I became abbot 4 years ago, 5 members of the monastic community have died. So we miss them, and we pray that others may come along to join us. So do remember in your prayers, particularly at this time, I'd ask you to pray for Brother Bede. Brother Bede is due to be ordained to the diaconate later this year, and next year, God willing, he'll be ordained a priest, And perhaps this is another pair of hands we'll have to help us in the monastic community and in the parish. As you're probably aware from you checking on the numbers in the choir, Father Alexander's frequently away. He's working on to have a doctorate at the Catholic University of Leuven. So he's getting on well with his studies, but it'll be a great blessing to have him back full-time as well. So more hands to help row the boat along. So thank you all very much indeed for all your support and prayers. And I know that from my recent contact with the Cardinal that he does appreciate the work that is done in this parish, and the excellence of this parish directory was something which certainly took his attention.